Hello, everyone. Welcome to Project 24. I'm your host, Adrian. Today's a very special episode today. I didn't bring any, but today's our episode 24 of Project 24. Kind of cool, a little niche there. I guess it's a champagne episode. Uh, I didn't bring any champagne because personally, I fucking hate champagne, so fuck that. I wasted my goddamn money on fucking alcohol I hate. Fucking last time I drank it was on New Year's and it was the most fucking I forgot about how disgusting it is. Fucking touch it like maybe once a year if that. Fucking hate that crap. So hey, if you guys want to pour a glass for yourself, by all means join me Familia. But B, I fucking hate champagne, so fuck that. Anyways, the big trade that just came out now, like less than an hour ago. Carson Wentz going to the Colts. Kind of not surprised by that one there. Carson Wentz to the Colts for a 2021 third round pick, so in this draft, and a conditional 2022 second round pick that could turn to a first. So that can be good for the Eagles. I think that's a good trade. I mean, anytime you get draft picks in a trade, I think you automatically win the trade. So I don't know if Wentz is going to be able to play like he once did. Uh, his legs are gone, but we'll see. I mean, Frank Reach is on the team now. I think he's the quarterbacks coach or something like that. Maybe the OC. He was the Eagles offensive coordinator in 2017, where Wentz had that really good season, the MVP like season, and he was the OC. So maybe he can rejuvenate his career there. I don't know. His legs are gone after all those injuries, but hey, so we'll see. A good opportunity for Carson. So yeah, just wanted that was just breaking news, so I wanted to record that. Sorry, talk about that. But anyways, I want to go back to the champagne episode, I guess, champagne edition. Again, like I've said so many times on this podcast, like I have had guests on here this month, last month too. Uh I gotta say, like I'm very thankful, man. 24 episodes already. It's pretty awesome. Posting 3 times a week though. This time, it's something I love doing. I'm really happy doing this. Honestly, like I love doing. I'll do this any time of the day, any hour of the day, any time of the week. It's just something I really love, and I love what I do. I love what I do here. I love creating content. Definitely want to create more content, maybe better quality content in the future. I'm still working on that. I'm still learning the do's and don'ts of this, I guess you could say, or the learning the whole tech side of it, the editing. I'm still learning all that, so I know my videos aren't the greatest quality right now. I just doing it on my little shitty laptop here, my Acer laptop, but it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. Again, you got to start somewhere, right? I don't like when people start uh not bull maybe bull yeah bullying these YouTubers about their equipment and how their setup's not that great. It's like, hey man, you got to start somewhere, you know. Everyone's got to start somewhere. It doesn't matter. All the successful YouTubers, they started from the bottom, and just look where they are now. Like even examples like the Nelk Boys. Shout out to those guys, by the way. They're pretty awesome. Those guys, pretty crazy. They post some pretty dicey content. I mean, but they're a good example because I remember when I started watching their YouTube videos and their content, they were just like in like little like Airbnbs, like partying and like fucking full sending all fucking weekend at like these little Airbnbs, and now they're like all over the world now. Like they're in like South America now, like doing like partying down there, and like they go all over California and all over the states. Like they're huge now, just from like the little videos of them partying in like a little cheap Airbnb to like what they're doing now. Like, hey, they work their way up, and that's the way things roll. Um, yeah, like I feel like I finally for years found my purpose. I think everybody has some people have trouble finding their purpose. Personally, it took me a long time to figure it out, but I think this is my purpose. I've something I love to do. hopefully it gets bigger and I can turn it into a source of income, be great. I don't know YouTube. I don't know if YouTube would really like it because I swear a lot in my episodes, but uh, we'll see. Hope the future goes well. Just still trying to gain more of an audience, which is okay. It's normal. But I love my viewers here. Uh, yeah, it's just the daily grind that I love, and I just can't go. I can keep on going on and on, but I love doing this. I can't express how much I love doing this. Like I come home from my day job right away. I'm either working on writing down content for next episode, or editing videos, or making thumbnails for our YouTube channels, and little things like that. Always on the computer, always here. Like I'm always down here, doing my stuff. So again, I love what I do, and I'm so happy I finally found the thing that I love to do. And I guess it's podcasting. Eventually, though, I do want to, maybe in the summer, maybe September, around when the 1 year mark comes of our podcast, I'd like to do some rebranding. Definitely do some rebranding. Maybe change up the name and the logo eventually. You know what I mean? I think it would be cool to do that. Um, I want to, the Project 24 is great. I love it, but I want to maybe evolve it more into something better. We'll see though. We'll see what happens down the road, right? We'll see. But I just definitely make something more catchy. This is something good to start on. I told the story how this is something I've wanted to do for so long and for a couple of years now, and I just didn't have the confidence to do it, and now I do. And I cared too much about what people thought back then, and just you just who cares about them? There's people that are gonna like your content. For all the people that, yeah, like I've said this before too, for all the people that are afraid of posting content, because they're just not, they don't know, like they're unsure. Just just go for it. Like for anyone out there who wants to be a content creator, like it's a good community to be in. I'm telling you, it's a great community to be in. It's supporting each other, but also competing at the same time for views, right? Views and likes. But I encourage anybody that wants to be a content creator, just do it. It took me a long time to kind of get that confidence and just like be ready to do it, and being in the right state of mind. And if I can do it, hey, anybody can do it. So yeah, just to all our fellow content creators there. But speaking of content creators, I saw this the other day. It was Tuesday night. Ah, man, Logan Paul's leaving California. I was pretty. I mean, I was not to say that I was shocked, but like I am shocked at the same time. Uh, he was talking about it, like he was flirting with the idea about it for like quite some time now. Uh, he's going to Puerto Rico, so going to be moving there. I think he's going to be focusing more on his boxing career. That's why he's moving to Puerto Rico, so kind of get away from Los Angeles, get away from the noise, and kind of just stay more focused, which is good. Uh, it's good. It's good. I respect that. I mean, the boys there, George, Mike, and Logan, they've been complaining for a while about the high taxes in California, and he's there. Logan was saying on the episode where he announced that he was leaving California. He's on Tuesday. He said that um, something like he said like it's not just like the high taxes. It's like we pay so much in taxes, yet our roads are still fucking filled with potholes. Like, I mean, there's homeless people everywhere, like ODing on drugs everywhere. There's like fucking so many like used needles on the floor. I'm telling you, I don't know what happened to California. They used to be like a beautiful state, and now like everybody's leaving. He said to all his fellow like content creators and movie stars and whatever else, they're all leaving California. Even just not even just famous people, like regular people, like regular working class people like you and I, like maybe that are watching this video, like they're leaving California too. It's just become it's a shithole. Like I'm gonna flat out say, like I've talked to people that have lived there, And like I've seen videos and pictures. It's literally a shithole right now. It's so bad. Like it's very depressing actually to see such a beautiful, beautiful state like that turn into such a dump. Uh, it's their governor. I mean, again, I don't want to get political, but this is just again, people on both sides could agree with me on this. But Gavin Newsom is awful. He's horrible. Like everybody there hates him. Like he's trying to be removed right now. I think repealed. I think that's the what they call it. Almost like the equivalent of impeaching like a president or something. It's like removed, repealed. They're trying to do that because he's obviously mishandled the COVID situation there. They said apparently like the boys were there. Mike was saying about how I think California set a record for most deaths in a day, like in the whole history of this COVID like pandemic. And he started opening everything up. Like personally, like again, I'm against the lockdowns to begin with. Like I've said before, I think opening things up is better for people. You know, instead of locking them in their houses all the time. I think it's the right thing to open things up. But I mean, at the same time, be safe about it. Don't be stupid, but like be safe. Uh, yeah. It sucks. It's sad though. Everybody's leaving California. Well, it's very very sad actually for such a beautiful part of the country, beautiful part of the world actually. People from all over the world come to California for like opportunity, and just it's turning into a dump. It's turning into like literally turning into a dump. It's uh, it's horrible. It's kind of going to be hard to change it, but I mean, hey, whoever if Newsom does get removed, Gavin Nuisance by Gavin Nuisance, if he gets removed, whoever's going to go in office there has a lot of cleaning up to do, a lot of work to do. So we'll see what happens. But then there was something I was kind of like thinking about too, like because again, now he's moving to Puerto Rico. So what are they gonna do with like the Impulsive show? I was like, are they? Is that like this is the last episode or what's going on here? You know, like is it like a couple more episodes and then he's like fucking off or like what's going on here? So uh, I think they said they're gonna do something like virtually. So they'll still like Mike and George will still be doing their part in it. They'll be going to the studio, the brand new studio that they just spent $70,000 on to get renovated, and Logan's leaving. He does again. We'll see what happens. Like, who knows? They'll probably just do it virtually. He'll just be in his house in Puerto Rico there. And they'll the other boys will be there. Like everyone else, they'll be there. He doesn't know if he's even keeping the Maverick house. He said he doesn't even know. And he said like he doesn't even know what he wants to do with it. So he's got a lot of big decisions to make. Personally, I don't know. I have a feeling he's just gonna. I feel like he's gonna just go there for a while, maybe for like a year, 6 months. Uh, and maybe he might come back to LA, but I don't know. He said he wanted to make some big changes in his life, and this was one of them. And maybe for him to grow up more. I mean, that's a fair thing. He's gonna be 26 this year in April, so yeah. So I think that's a good thing, good mindset for him. He wants to focus on his boxing career, which is fine. I mean, stay away from LA. LA can be trouble too. He was looking into Texas, Miami as well. Texas and Miami, Dallas, I guess. I don't know what suburb city, but he said Texas, like what Joe Rogan did. Joe Rogan packed his shit and left California. So, yeah, everyone's leaving California though. It's pretty sad. Pretty sad the state that's no pun intended, but the state that state is in right now. It's really sad. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. Might get better. Hopefully it does. I mean, I personally I would like to live there if like but again, if even these guys are saying that it's bad there now, like I don't think it's even really worth living there anymore. Maybe working that sorry, not working. Maybe like going a tour there would be awesome. I mean, yeah, I've always wanted to go to California, like Los Angeles. I've always wanted to do the whole tour, like the Anaheim, San Jose, and Los Angeles. Like watch a hockey game, all three of them. Maybe watch a baseball game in Anaheim there with the Angels and Dodgers. Watch all the sporting events there. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe one day when I have money. Project 24 gets me somewhere. We'll see. Um, guys, did you see Mason Rudolph, man? He's now they both him and Jeannie Bouchard are dating now. Like that's pretty cool. Happy for them. They made it Instagram official, I think, on the weekend with Valentine's Day. And I'm like, good for them. Good for them. Especially, Jeannie Bouchard, she's had a little bit of a rough go with her career at times, and she's happy she found somebody. Good for her. Mason Rudolph, though, I gotta say, good job, man. Nice, man. It's a good catch. She seems like one of a kind there. She's obviously an athlete. That's pretty cool too. But I mean, good job, man. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I think she was going to a couple of his games, Steelers games there. I saw like there's some videos. And then people were speculating like, oh, is she dating one of the players? Like, why would she be traveling all the way to Pittsburgh to watch a game? And well, there you go. They've been dating for a while, I bet. And just they finally made it official. But hey, good for them. Good to see young people in love, I guess. You know how it is. Valentine's Day and stuff. But guys, baseball's back too. So happy. So happy with baseball being back. Like it's gonna be so good this year. I mean, yesterday the pitchers and catchers reported to spring training, but today like the whole team, all the rosters, all the players are going over. So it's gonna be pretty nice. Again, I'm excited for my Jays. I don't know. We'll see how it goes this year again. They have obviously they made some moves. But getting Springer and Marcus Simeon. Uh Pitching is still, obviously always a concern with every team. You never have enough pitching. Never have enough pitching depth. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean personally, I think again Ryu's gonna have another big season. I think Nate Pearson's gonna start to settle in too. Although he did play good last year, but I think he's really gonna really settle in this season. He's got that rookie year out of the way and all the talk and the headlines and the noise. So I think he'll fit in nicely. I don't know. I think their pitching is good, but I mean, there's you never have enough pitching depth. Especially their bullpen's pretty strong now. But again, you never have enough pitching depth. That's one thing. Just like in hockey, how you could never have enough defense. There's always room to make your blue line better. So, yeah, I don't know. I think the Jays will do well. I think bit of a hot take, but I think they could make the World Series and possibly win. The only thing is, it's just their pitching staff is a little bit questionable against some of the bigger teams. Excuse me. Fuck. Had some Wendy's before I fucking came on here, so a little bit gassy. Had to hit the toilet before I got here too. So, anyways, yeah. I mean the Yankees. AL East is gonna be the Yankees and the Jays like usual. Well, not like usual, but it's gonna be the new trend for sure. Going into the next couple of seasons now, in the future, because I mean the Red Sox seem like they're in rebuild mode because they traded Benintendi, let go of some other pieces too. They missed the playoffs, but I mean Alex Cora is back there, so who knows? Maybe he might turn them around. I just found it strange that they traded Benintendi, but maybe there's a reason behind it. I still think that's a great trade for the Royals. I think the Royals are going to be good. They've restocked from what I've heard, anyways. They've restocked their minor league affiliates really well. They have some good players all around the field. So Benintendi's a good pickup. I always liked that guy, even when he was on Boston. Always love that guy. So that's good. That's going to be really good for them. Yeah. So apparently, too, the Jays are going to be starting off their season in Dunedin. It's going to be interesting, actually. We'll see how that goes. Um, Obviously, there's nothing they could really do about what the current circumstances. Obviously, the Canadian government's not going to let them travel to the States and come back. And even with, like I get it. Like, I mean, America is a really bad hotspot for it right now. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens, I guess. They're saying till about May they're going to be in Dunedin, Florida. Maybe if people maybe if they start getting vaccines and shit like that, more people start getting vaccinated, they might start letting them come back to play home games in Toronto. We'll see. I don't know. It's probably just gonna be month by month kind of thing. So who knows? In May they might just extend it again till like the end of the season, and then playoffs come, and who knows, right? So, yeah, we'll see. I'm excited either way. I'm happy it's gonna be a full season too. By the way, uh, only 60 games last year. It was a little bit ended a little bit too quick, in my opinion. Happy to have again. This team's gonna be so good with, fuck man, with George Springer. Outfield is gonna be so solid. I'm very stoked. And just George Springer's story about like how he had like the speech impediment, like the stutter, when he was a kid. He struggled a lot in school and stuff. But it's a good story, how he overcame it. I mean, it's hard. It's hard. I mean, there's another athlete, I think Dustin Brown on the Kings, even had a speech impediment growing up, and he like literally had to have like a teacher side by side with him to uh, kind of like help him. So it was hard, but no, I gotta say shout out to George Springer. I mean, even anybody like with that has like a obstacle like that, and they can overcome it and still achieve their goals and have their dreams. Even like again, I was like saying in the past in this podcast about Max Domi, how I read his book and how man he overcame so much, like having a celiac and type 1 diabetes. Yeah, type 1 diabetes. Yeah, it's crazy. And how he's an NHL player now. How like he says like it's hard, and I mean he hasn't really been playing that great lately. I mean I saw he was on Columbus's fourth line today going into tonight's matchup. That was the Lions, and everyone's like freaking out like on Habs Twitter, like oh wow, it's like like, if you read his book, you got to understand how fucking hard it is to be a professional hockey player and have like type 1 diabetes. Like in between like shifts, sometimes he has to like check his blood. Every period he has to, like, it's so much work. Like it's crazy. The medical staff got so like on the teams he's played for are like so supportive and like helpful, which is good. Um, Always checking his blood level, his blood sugar. It's crazy. Sometimes if he feels low, like he's had times where he's been on a shift and he's felt low and like he's felt sick and he had to like try and like just push through it. It's like, my God, that's so tough, man. Yeah, diabetes is tough. Like and look, that's just a success story too. I mean, look at him. He's professional athlete and able to overcome that. Like it's crazy. Very crazy. But yeah, no. Shout out to all those again. Even just not even just athletes, just people that do have obstacles in their life like that that can make it harder for them to achieve their goals. And they become successful. Uh, Again, guys, just I see stories like that, and I just try not to give up. And same with everyone else should have the same mindset. Like some people just have it. The odds are stacked against them, and they just use that as a rally to just push through the wall, and just ram through it and just get her done. And really inspiring stuff. George Springer and Dustin Brown, Max Domi, and there's probably so many others, but it's only really three I can think of off the top of my head. Um, so there's one more thing I think. A couple more actually. A couple more things. But this one was kind of a different one. So I don't know if any of our Twitter users viewers saw that we changed our Twitter header to a picture of Nate Thompson. There's a reason behind that. He's very again another man who's very inspiring to this podcast in a lot of ways. Um, obviously me being a Habs fan, and he was on the Habs last year. He was personally one of my favorite players I've seen put on the uniform. That's kind of sounds crazy for a guy who was only there for 1 year, but just the impact he left, and his leadership on and off the ice. Like, the kids loved him, man. The youngins on the team, like they just love being around him. Like they literally called him Uncle Nate. Like, like that's the kind of relationship he had. Like I know again, even bring him up, like Max Domi was just so fond of him, and they got along so well, and he wore his heart on his sleeve every time he put on that uniform and go to war for his boys there. Uh, Again, he just was like prototypical hockey player for me. Guy that just battles every night. He can win face-offs. He's got to score a few goals here and there. He kill penalties. Does gritty. He does what he has to do to keep his job in the league, and he does it good. Um, and like I was I was really sad. Like I was really depressed when they traded him. The Habs traded him. Like I won't even lie to you. Like I remember when I heard I personally like I knew it was gonna happen because the Habs were heading in a different direction. Obviously before the COVID uh, season lockdown there, but they were headed into a direction. Obviously like a retooling. They had to get rid of a lot of some of their assets. Like I get it. It's business. It was a business trade. And I was really sad when he got traded. He was one of my favorite players, just a role model for me on and off the ice. Just the respect he has for everybody around him, and he's just loved by everybody. Everywhere he goes, he's just loved by everybody. I could tell all over the hockey world, not just in Montreal, but everybody loves Nate Thompson. Man, he's just one of a kind. He's a guy you want to have on your team all the time. Um, I remember even too. Uh, he had a segment on CBC during like one of the intermission during one of the games. It was like December 2019. He opened up about his past substance abuse battles, I guess you could say, struggles, battles. Um, and he just it was very very touching. Uh, yeah, it hit me so deep in so many ways because at the time too, I was going through a lot of my life. Things were happening and too much change for the point where I couldn't handle it. And like I've said before, like I said, like I wasn't sober for a while and kind of went through that same thing. Not to luckily though, I made changes before it was too late. But yeah, he opened up about it and how it affected his life and the people around him. I think he got a divorce too. Uh, he had like a bad relapse at like I think a wedding in like 2017. It was very bad, and talking about how he did like cocaine, mushrooms, smoked weed, and drank. And again, those are all the things that I did too. Uh, and yeah, it was just very sad to see. Like you could see the pain in his eyes that how much it affected him, and uh, just again, like I've been there in that situation too. He even said too, like he didn't want to die, he didn't want to kill himself, but like he didn't wasn't scared if he died. And for the longest time, I was kind of in that situation too, where I didn't know what my purpose was, and that was the point. It says, hey, like if I die, like I'm not going to be upset, but like I don't want to live, but I don't want to die too. I was kind of for a long time I was in that boat, and life was just going downhill, and it was hard to stay positive. Like him, he's saying he was hard for him to stay positive, and he just did it. Finally, he acknowledged the problem. He knew he needed help. He called his mom, I think. One of the hardest phone calls I bet you could make, especially to a parent, telling them you're addicted to drugs and alcohol, like, and you need help. That must be so hard. That must have been really, really hard. But I gotta say, Nate, it's you're very brave, Nate. Shout out to him. You takes a lot of courage and leadership to acknowledge that you have a problem, and to even open up about it, and to kind of use it as a way to inspire others to like not go down that road. It was very inspiring. You're again, Nate Thompson. You'll always be one of my favorite hockey players in this league. Just the 1 year you played in Montreal was really a blessing. So, yeah, and just wanted to give him a shout out there. I don't know if you guys saw, but one more thing before we head out. But Fernando Tatis Jr. 14 years, $340 million. That is insane. $340 million for 14 years. Let's do the math on that. Oh my God, he deserved it. Don't get me wrong. He's my favorite player in the league right now. I love that kid so much. 14. So he's been making over 24 million dollars a year. That is insane. That is crazy. You know what though? I'm so happy for that kid. He's changing the game of baseball like every year, like so much. He's making it fun with his bat flips and his swagger. How he every time he comes on the field, he's got that swagger, and it's awesome, man. I love for Tatis Jr. He's already making moves and just making noise, and I love that. I love that about him. He's just so good. Again, he deserves that contract. So like deserves it, every bit of it. You've earned it, for Tatis Jr. Fernando Tatis Jr. You've earned it, man. You're such a great ball player. You're just changing the game, and you're just making baseball fun again. You know, you're making baseball fun. It's enough of this fucking politically correct bullshit about how you can't celebrate a home run, or you can't have a personality. These fucking dinosaur baseball people that think you still just have to like act like it's like the 1950s. It's like, nah, man, it's 2021. Okay, like you're 60 years out of date. Okay, players can like have a personality. They can be what they want. Like they can like they want to celebrate a home run, then celebrate a home run. Like I hate when these pitchers and these teams get so mad when players like bat, especially the Texas Rangers. They get so mad when teams celebrate home runs and do bat flips. It's like, you know what? If you don't like players pimping home runs, celebrating home runs, and don't fucking allow home runs. Put your pitches in better spots if you don't want to see them celebrate. That's your own fault. Why do they have to respect you? Like, bro, I'm sorry, but if you're throwing me a freaking high inside fastball, and bro, if I'm cranking that thing out of the park going 400 feet, bro, like I don't give a fuck about you. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna celebrate that shit. I'm gonna fucking flip my bat. I'm gonna jump up and down if I want to. Like, who the fuck are you? Put your pitch in a better spot. Not my problem. Fucking idiots. Anyways, this is all for Project 24 today, guys. Again, it's our special episode, champagne episode. Again, sorry I couldn't bring any champagne because I just fucking hate champagne. It's so expensive, and I'm not spending my money on fucking shitty fucking alcohol. You guys want to pour yourself a glass? Be my guest. For me right now, I just enjoy my water, and that's it. Maybe the odd beer, but water and beer, it's all. Anyways, guys, it was great to have you today. Again, like and subscribe to this video. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We have that all in our YouTube channel. So, uh, yeah, we much appreciate that. And yeah, so this is Project 24, and we are signing off.